we're going to send them a message. And it's not going to be, not going to be with guns. We're going to send them a message and let them know you just can't come in here and just think you're going to run us, take our accounts and think you're going to run us, run roughshod over us. So we're rolling out there, and he's like, well, we're going, get somebody going there, smash up, 3 of his joints in one night. He's got 12, and let him know that, he can't protect. Basically show him you can't protect your spots. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? He's like, no. He goes, let's get somebody else. And I said, okay, who you want to get? He goes, what about that crazy Steve? That crazy Steve guy's been hanging around. I said, crazy Steve from my childhood, one of my younger brother's buddies? He goes, yeah. He goes, he listens to you. I said, yeah, he's like a pit bull. If I say attack somebody, he'll attack him. That's why I call him Crazy Steve. Background on Steve, he was a friend of my brother's, my younger brother, 6 years younger than me. And he was abused as a kid. His father used to beat the shit out of him. I mean, beat him up bad. And he hung around my brother. And, they were friends. And I would take him around the movies, bowling, and get him beer and all. Went in the service. And then when I got out, when I got this job and, I'm doing this thing, he kind of showed up. He actually was in jail for assault and battery. I think he beat the shit out of his father. His father had him locked up, go figure. The dad's been beating the shit out for years, and his father has him locked up when he retaliates. So he's been hanging around, and he's kind of like, he's on my heels. He's like, he always looked up to me, like, because he didn't have a father figure or, an older brother. So he kind of looked at me up like that. One night we're at the bar, and this guy bumped into me, and I kind of looked at him. The guy didn't say, excuse me. And Steve's like, want me to go fuck him up? And I said, yeah, kind of joking around. And Steve went over there and fucking grabbed the guy and was ready to fucking cold cop. I'm like, no, it's cool. So he was kind of like a pit bull. So anyway, Sonny's like, we're going to use this Steve, Crazy Steve. So I said, all right. So we, call him up. We meet out. We're at one of the clubs out, and he comes in there. And you ever see that movie, how he looked? Call him Crazy Steve because how he looked was Mr. Deeds. I think Steve Buscemi played the part where, his eyes were, that's how he looked. That's how Crazy Steve looked all the time. His eyes were always like, and he talked real fast. And he came out, and he's like, and he was always looking for work. He said he was, had a background being in jail. So we talked, and we said, you think you can do this? He's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. That's kind of how he talked. And I said, all right. So we went around, we cased the places out, and we figured it, Sonny didn't want me doing it. Sonny wanted him doing it, but he wanted me to make sure it was a night it was slow, where there wouldn't be anybody in there to cause any problem. And the directions were go in there, smash all the poker machines up, jukebox, whatever's in there, any vending thing in there, pinball, smash the fuck out of it. Steve's like, okay, anything what do you pay me? What do you pay me? That's kind of how he talked. And Sonny's, smoking, blowing smoke. He goes, how about $2,000, Good, all right, yeah. He probably did it for $100. $2,000. He's thinking, all right, he hit the lottery. So we went around and he scattered out the bars and then one night, I think it was a Monday night, which is a slow night for all the bars. He went around and smashed shit out of these fucking bars one night. Got 3 machines, got three bars, and it caused a guy, probably $20,000-$30,000 worth of damage, maybe more. I mean, so within a few days, that John had called Joe and wanted to come and see him, and talk to him and let him know that how can he resolve, he don't want to step on any toes and he doesn't want any problems, and and they sat and he basically said, there's a hierarchy. Joe's like, there's a hierarchy, there's 5 operators, there's main guys that control a lot of this stuff, and if you step on our toes, there's maybe there's consequences. Because I'm not saying we did it. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe somebody didn't like you. Maybe somebody found out you're, a cop getting into this business. Joe's like, it's a dirty business. It can be dirty, so if you're in it with us, you're rolling around. So he's like, I got the message. And he says, any other accounts that, I tell you what, Joe, if anybody approaches me looking for me to pick them up, if it's any of you guys, I'll call somebody and let them know that that's what's going on. Give you guys an opportunity to counter or whatever. And that's what we did. That's what these five guys would do. If somebody come in and it was Joe's spot calling us, we'd call on Joe and say, hey, they called us, and give Joe a chance to counter. He might say, fuck you, fuck them, you can have them. Sometimes it was like that, just, I'm done with them, if they want to leave, they can fucking leave, The next day or two, we're going to dinner, and Sonny's all happy. We go to a nice place to eat. He was excited because he was going to be, godfather. First time he's godfather to somebody, godfather, my child coming. So he was happy. He's, congratulating me for that, and he was excited. And I'm like, okay, that's, it's a lot of, I'm having a kid, you got 2 kids, it's we go to dinner for it. He goes, well, just talking on. I said, can I ask you something? And I said, why didn't, I said, not that I mind. I said, why didn't you, want to use me to do the job, go in there and take care of those 3 places. Sonny's, smoke and blow smoke. And he says, he goes, from now on, you got to be clean, or as clean as I can get me in this industry. He goes, you can't get in any trouble. And I said, okay, I've been, I don't want to get any trouble. But I mean, he'd been putting me in some precarious situations where I could have been in a hell of a lot of trouble. But I said, the difference between now and back then, there weren't cameras everywhere. No one had a cell phone. Today, people have cell phones. You have a camera, you have video, and there's cameras everywhere. Back then, there was, cameras in banks, barely bars. So you got away with a lot of shit. So that's why, we didn't have a lot of problems, or I didn't have a lot of problems. So he's like, I don't want you getting dirty. And I said, okay, I'm already dirty. What do you mean? What do you mean by dirty? He's like, I don't need you getting in trouble. Just, you're going to lay low, just do collections, just normal stuff, because you need to have a clean record. You keep your record clean. I said, okay, I plan on it. He goes, no, because I'm going to get you set up in a bar. He goes, I know I keep promising you when I'm ready to get out in a couple more years, I'm going to turn over my half of the business to you. It's all yours. My kids are still little, and, I can travel with them, do whatever. But until then, he goes, I appreciate everything you're doing for me. He goes, I'm going to set you up in a bar. He goes, I'm going to give you the deposit down. You'll pay me back, of course, but, it's going to be yours. The bar's going to be yours. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, I'm like super excited. 1 minute I'm telling Phil, I'm trying to get the hell out of here. Maybe, he's telling me, then again, Phil Nostradamus again. Phil's like, hang on, maybe get something out of this. So I'm thinking, like, maybe he knew. I don't know. So Sonny's like, what do you think? I said, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. What bar's for sale? He goes, the Curb Shop. And I said, the Curb Shop on Falls Road? He said, yeah. What do you think? I said, well, that's our best stop. Yeah, I know you guys, it's all your company together and all, but I said, you have 4 of your stops are the best. That the 5th one is his. That's his best stop out of all his collection stops. And it's been in his family for, his father-in-law had that stop for 30 years. I said, is he going to, let it up? Or, he's like, it's still all together. We're still, together and all. It's still part of the thing and all. He goes, I'm going to put you in there. It's your joint. You run it how you want it. It runs itself. That's why it's perfect. Still work for us. Place runs itself. It's going to be your place. And I said, well, what does Ira say about that? He goes, well, he don't know yet, but it don't matter. He goes, it's going to be your fucking bar. I said, okay. Here's the Curb Shop.